All right, guys, so here we are in one of my favorite places, and that is the forest. And I am lucky enough to live around all these forests and all these trees. And that is what I'm gonna be talking to you guys today about in this video, about how we are using nature and how we are using a playbook from nature to improve the soil and also improve our health. Because if we improve the soil, we have the microbes in the soil. Those microbes are gonna get in the food that we grow, and it's gonna improve our gut health, because then we're gonna have the microbes in the gut. Gut health is so important for brain health. I'll go into that in another video, but this is all about living the pioneer lifestyle and just a happier and healthier lifestyle. And so if you look around me, like I said, there are millions of leaves out here. All these leaves have dropped, and those leaves are going to break down and feed the soil underneath. And that is huge. These leaves will feed the microorganisms, will help the fungal networks in the soil, and just become part of the soil and build the ecosystem in the soil. And so if you are lucky enough to have leaves where you are, we can use these leaves. Now, not these leaves, we don't want to take anything from the forest, but we can use our own leaves in our own homes and feed the soil in the fall and winter time. If you are new into gardening, you might not think that feeding the soil in the fall and winter, why not just feed it in the spring? Well, if we're looking at nature, it feeds it in the fall and winter time. So if we just want to copy nature as much as possible, that's my philosophy for most things. I think when human beings try to do too much and try to change nature, it usually doesn't work out as good as if we just kind of copied what nature does already. Nature drops the leaves in the fall, so that is when I'm gonna be using the bulk of my leaves. Now, I will use it for mulch in the springtime as well, but to put a layer of leaves on my soil in the fall and winter, have them break down, it really feeds the soil and gets my garden ready for spring. It will get your garden ready for spring as well. So let's go back to the house and actually show you a practical way on how to use these leaves and how you guys can grow amazing food come springtime. Boom, and just like that, we are back in the garden and we have collected our leaves. So once you have your leaves, whether you collect it on your own property, whether you have neighbors that have a bunch of trees and they bag them up and you just pick up the bags, or leaves that are ready for you, however you collect them, the next step is to shred them up. Now, the reason why I like to shred them up is because, number one, I think they break down better. And again, that is really one of the huge reasons why we are doing this, because we want the leaves to break down. We want it to feed the soil underneath. That soil will then feed your plants, and those plants will then feed your gut health. Gut health is great for brain health, and you will just be a happier, healthier individual. So feeding the soil is so important, and that's what we are using these leaves for. So they break down better if they're shredded up, in my opinion, from what I've seen and I've observed over doing this. And the second reason is because if you don't shred them up, you will have stacked leaves, they get wet, and there's no airflow. Airflow is really important. If you don't have airflow, they just won't break down as easy. And it just will start smelling a little bit. It's just not good. You want airflow. You want airflow in compost. You want airflow in your garden. That's why you don't plant things too close, because diseases will come. Just things that you do not want will come when you don't have proper airflow in gardening and really just in nature in general, right? Airflow is important. And so what I would do is just take a mower and mow over these. If you have a mower with a bag, it is super easy to mow over your leaves, bag them up, and then you are ready to go. You can also just use like a shredder, like a big shredder if you have one of those too. But mowers, if you have one with the bag, is definitely the easiest way to do this. So after you have your leaves all shredded up just like this, the next step is just to put it on your garden. Super easy step. Now, I am still growing arugula in the fall, and I'll probably even grow in the winter time. Now, not just arugula, I grow a bunch of stuff, but right here you are seeing arugula being grown. And so I'm just going to take my leaves and just put it around it. I will put it maybe an inch or two deep around my arugula, and that's it. It will break down, it will continue to feed the soil, and it will also kind of act as a mulch layer as well. That is a second reason why this is so good, because you don't really want to leave soil bare. That's why people grow cover crops, or at least one of the reasons why people grow cover crops. That is why people try to keep something planted in their garden season year round, because you're sending roots down in the soil and you just have something that's not bare. You just don't have bare soil. Bare soil is not really good for the soil. It's not going to improve the soil health. Like growing things in the soil will improve the soil health. Those roots will feed the microbes. And just having something on the soil is good. So using these leaves, you can use it as a mulch, and at least there is a kind of barrier between the outside sun and all this, life, and the life in the soil, and that is good for the soil health. It just protects it. You can kind of think of, protecting the soil. So mulching is good. If you're not gonna grow a cover crop, or you're not gonna grow anything in winter, this is another reason why using leaves as mulch is so good. So if you're not growing anything, it's super duper easy, because all you gotta do is dump your leaves across your garden, spread it out. Again, I put it a couple inches thick. You could probably even do, up to 3-4 inches if you wanted to. They will break down come springtime, and come springtime, if it's not all broken down, you can easily just move the leaves away, plant your seeds or plant your plugs, and then once your plants start growing, use those leaves as mulch. The reason why I would love to do this in the winter is, number one, like I said, that's how nature does it, feeds the soil in the winter. So you are feeding the soil, but also it is just ready to go come springtime. If they haven't broken down all the way, you can just use it for mulch. And that is a great way to do it as well. So super duper easy to use leaves in your garden to improve your soil health, to use it as a mulch, and really just to build that ecosystem. And again, guys, building the ecosystem in the soil, grow healthy food, grow a healthy gut, grow a healthy mind, use nature to improve your life. That is what the Pioneer lifestyle is all about, to use nature to become better. Guys, love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace out, and don't forget to use nature in your life.